All right. I think we are ready to start. If you're online, can you just do a thumbs up or something so I know you can hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Again, just a request that if you're online, stay on mute. Of course, unmute and ask questions as needed. We have a lot of people here and a lot of people online, so feels like pre-COVID days actually. So thankfully, last time I remember we did this, we had like 4 people, so everybody was online. So glad to see the center is full. So, well, we'll get started. My name is Manoj Patil. I'm the founder and CEO of New Horizon. I'm also the president of a college near Sioux City here. Been in higher ed for 21 years. Been doing New Horizon for 15 years, so we are celebrating 15 years this December. Um, and had more than 6,000 students and 22 different states. Um, had students from local, from USD, all the way to Harvard. The only one school we have not placed is MIT. So damn it. I have a chance actually. We have a student who is now been shortlisted at MIT for playing football. So, so I'm pushing him. He needs a 34 in math. That's a requirement. Otherwise, 33 is not gonna good. That's what the coach told us. So it's pretty surreal. So I'm only gonna kneel down here so you can see both sides. Then we're gonna get started. So I just don't have time for everybody to introduce yourselves, but so we're gonna get started. So all right. So again, online, just a request. If you have any questions, unmute and ask questions. This is going to be very informal. A lot of discussions, a lot of things will come up here. Okay. All right. So we'll get started. The first thing is your kids should have access to WhatsApp, and all information will be shared on WhatsApp. The video recordings, the assignments, and everything. So please make sure they have the access. Second is the homework sheet is already submitted. Um, this is extremely important. I cannot stress the importance of homework. Average 2 hours per week. But you know how kids are, right? They'll do it 2 hours before they come to this class. So we are gonna. I don't know. I cannot mandate it, but I can almost say that you guys have to mandate that they have to be done by Saturday. So that's going to be very, very important to be done on Saturday. So, and not to do all 2 hours of homework on one day as well. There are different chapters and stuff like that. So if you can kind of control that one. So what some of the best advice I've received from the parents is they have a homework sheet in the refrigerator and they just check mark and put the date when it's done. Um, Pre-COVID, we had around 86% completion in homework. Post-COVID and during COVID, we are getting around 73% of the students are doing the homework. So it's just a very low. We are expecting minimum 90% this time. If you don't do the homework, it's not going to help. So, so this is WhatsApp access homework sheet. These are the things. Now we're going to get into some little bit more details. If your son or daughter is a senior or a junior, they have to register for both the October and the December tests. So I'm going to repeat this. If your son or daughter is in a senior or a junior, they have to take the October and the December test. People always ask me why you have to take two, which is not one. So this is called dual testing. Over the years, we have found out that if October turns out to be tough for ACT, December turns out to be significantly easy. And that's what happened last year as well. We had a student who had a 28 in October, got a 34 in December. ACT says that it's going to be the same. They say it doesn't matter what test you take, it's the same proposition. And it's called a process called equate. But I can tell you it's not true. It's a substantial difference between test to test. Sometimes October can be very easy, December can turn out to be very hard. So, and I can tell you there's no good month to take a test. You just, this usually can take care of a lot of the nuances you're going to have in this difficulty. And uh, and I can tell you right now that you need to start registering right away. October 28th and December 9th are the test dates. I know there is a parent having a question, so please go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me, Manoj?
Yes.
So regarding the homework, what I was wondering is the homework, do they do the homework online and is it graded online or how does that work? Like when you said, it's 86% completion and things like that. So how do you check that?
Um, um, Word of mouth, I would say, or to some sort of trust level. We used to actually have them submitted before, years before. That didn't go well. So what we ask them is basically once the homework is done, we're going to do a polling, and we create and say, of course they can lie to us or lie to you guys as well. So we're going to go by the little faith in here. So, but that's the thing, and all the homework is through the books they already have. So there's no other information materials they would need other than they already have it, and these this homework actually reinforces significantly what we teach. So that's why it's not some school homework where they just do it for some grade. This is actually to make sure that reinforce the material. So again, I cannot stress the significance of homework. So, if they're delayed by 1 or 2 days, I understand. But if they start missing on 1 or 2 weeks, then it's going to really add up quick. And especially if you're a junior or a senior, I would really want you guys to be aware of this one. Sounds good? Okay.
So it is basically self-report, it sounds like.
Yeah, self-reporting, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Good question. Also, yesterday we started our PSAT class. So yesterday we started our PSAT, SAT class. Some of our students are here as well, taking both of these. So if your son or daughter is going to be in 11th grade this time, they will have to take they don't have to, but highly recommended take the National Merit Test, the PSAT. I believe it's in October 11th. It depends on what school system you're in. We have students in California, Texas, Ohio right now, so everybody's different. But October 11th seems to be the day they will be taking the PSAT. And that's the only time it's going to count is the 11th grade PSAT. So we had a full house yesterday, really full-blown class started yesterday, so with PSAT and SAT. So that's something if you guys want to be aware of that as well. Next, if you're a 10th grader or a 9th grader, I expect you guys to take the first test in December. And the only reason is that's going to be their strong base score, which I think is going to be the lowest they will get. ACT you can take 12 times, up to 12 times. We had only one student at New Horizon who have taken up to 11 times. So that's too much. Don't do that. We have a graph I can show you. So between number of attempts and their scores, the average scores, let's call it as X bar average, and number of attempts. What we have seen is first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, fifth attempt. It's kind of like this. And after fifth attempt, it actually goes, and then after 8 or 9, it just shoots down. They don't give a damn here. They have given up. So this is where you want to max it, is 3 to 4 times. We have been averaging pretty consistently 3 attempts lately. So if you're a freshman or a sophomore, get your strong base score in December. And I know that we get this question, even one of the parents actually just asked me today, why should my son take the September test and get a base score without any prep? That's the worst thing you're going to do for your kid. It's like asking you guys to run a marathon and you have not done any practice. Yeah, you're going to suck at it, so they're going to suck at it. So they're going to be demotivated, depressed. So do not allow anybody to take standardized testing without preparation. So what we call a prepared base score of December. So for freshmen and for sophomores. And we have a lot of sevenths, we have some 8th graders as well this time taking class. So I would say December would be a good time to get started. There are 2 sections going on right now, the regular and the advanced. Everybody's combined today, but starting next week it'll be separated. So the advanced is really tough, regular is a little bit easier. So,
Manoj?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So about the testing again, you said it's the worst thing to do if they take any test in September without any preparation. Are there any practice tests that might be similar to just get that baseline idea of where they are
Yeah,
through this
they
course?
will be taking as part of the class two full practice tests in the month of first week of October. So
Okay,
I just don't want people to just show up and take a 4 hour test just to get the feel out of it. You'll be
right.
if you talk to your student, your kid, they'll tell you they hate it because they just have no clue what they're doing. Here, what's going to happen is they will be completely be prepared of what's going to happen. We even tell them what to eat that day, what to take, what to eat. We are very disciplined when it comes to testing. And so you'll get a big list of things to take, things we can eat, you should eat during the breakfast time and everything. Because this is a long time testing. And these school kids are not used to it at school. Schools are like what, 45 minutes, 53 minutes, and they're done. This is 4 hours. So you're gonna have a change in mindset. So you wanna prepare them as well. So I would say by October test, which is on October 28th, I expect 80% of the curriculum to be done, and they'll be really ready by October test. November is just a fine tuning, refreshing, more practice, and December we go all in. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Yes.
If you
Okay,
have
thanks.
very intelligent students that are very poor test taker, is there, and we'll probably have to do it 4 times, but I mean, is there, like, if on the October test, let's say she doesn't do well, is there an opportunity for some individual tutoring or something?
Oh, and I was just about to come to that one. And it's funny, it happens more for juniors and seniors. When they take the October test, they get the results in the first week of November. So it's 10 days after the October test, they get the results. So November 8th, 7th, 8th. So many of our students have gone through, oh, I need 3 hours of one-on-one section only on reading. We have students from Kansas right now. They have done quite the most one-on-one sections, one-on-one sessions with us. Where, hey, I'm good with trig, but I'm not good at geometry. Can we meet for 3 hours of geometry? So I expect quite a bit of that happening. So actually, of course you know us for a long time. So that's something, that option we always want to give to parents. And same with if your kid is applying for colleges and stuff, we also do college admissions and college consultation. We are knee deep right now because these seniors are started to apply. We've been working since Feb. So we are ready to actually submit the application as soon as the school does their work. So we have been really working hard on that one. So, but yes, yeah, coming to your question, yes, one-on-one option is always there. And we have specific instructors for specific subject. So, like I do math and science basically. So,
About the ACT and the SAT, would you take them both this fall or just focus on the
uh,
one?
okay, ACT. I'm gonna actually write it down. That's a good heading to have. ACT versus SAT. This has been the question, right? The question. So I have a really good answer because right now we are working with a student from Ohio right now. He scored 1520 in SAT. He scored a 32 composite in ACT. He's working with our college admissions, and he's like, should I submit just the SAT because it's higher, and not submit ACT because you have a choice called score choice. You can not disclose it. But ACT does not have science, and he's a pre-med major. So if I'm in admissions, I wonder, did this kid even take ACT? And he has a 36 in science, perfect score. So I told their parents, I think their brother is taking this class right now, maybe their dad is here right now. So I told them basically, I would be submitting both. Why would I hide this? A 36 in science and a 34 in math he has. So if you want to take both, you have to be a very good student. Do not take both. If you're getting, let's say you have a 28 in ACT, I would kind of say just stick to ACT. 31, 32, you tend to start taking both. Because SAT reading and language is harder than ACTs. So they want to start looking at both at the time. And it's not going to hurt you to take both and present that, you know what, I've done my best. So, so this is, you want to take both if you're a very good student. If you're applying for local schools, just look at only ACTs or SATs. But if you're applying to competitive schools like Brown, Harvard, UCLA, Caltech, then you want to get your base done. So, and I can answer a little bit more afterwards to you as well. But that's a great question. Anybody else has questions on ACT and SAT? And by the way, every lecture we have, Lily is teaching ACT reading right now in the other room, and everything is recorded, by the way.
Recording in progress.
Well, I was okay. Somebody. All right, no worries. We record everything, so now we have double recording as well. So, scared me for a second. So, any questions on ACT versus SAT? Yes.
ACT is more like, it's more local, right? I mean, it's more like, SAT is more just East Coast.
Used to be. Now, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Now, so there is every admission officer has what's called a conversion sheet. So you get a 35 in ACT. They have, and they, let's say they want to convert it to an SAT score, they can use this conversion sheet. Oh, this is what it comes out to, which is 1540, by the way. So, and there's a range to it as well. So, and if you want to take SAT and want to go to University of Iowa, where they prefer ACT, then they'll say, oh, you have a 1420 in SAT, comes to around 28 in ACT. So there's it's available to everybody, and I can share that with you guys.
Recording stopped.
So, is that good enough? Okay, but again, depends on who the student is decides this. Usually, 50% of New Horizons students end up taking both. Really good group of students. The next one is the big monster discussion is the APs, advanced placement. Try your best to have your kids take APs. And there's a confusion, by the way. AP is not a class, okay? You're not enrolled in an AP class. AP is a test. So for example, if you're in an AP bio class, yeah, it's a class that's helping you prepare for AP bio test. But if you don't take a test, which is always in May, and if you don't get a 3 or higher, it's not going to help you. So I'm going to repeat what I just said. APs are significantly important if you're applying for top schools, and honestly speaking, for any school for that matter. As a college president, when I get the student records, the first thing I look is APs. I don't even look at ACTs and SATs. APs have a lot of values. Yes?
So Healan does honors. Is that the same as APs? No.
No.
Okay.
Honors is an internal level of difficulty.
Okay.
Also called it accelerated. Some schools have accelerated honors. But they have a little bit of higher GPA weightage called weighted versus unweighted GPA. So, but APs gives you direct college credits.
Got you.
And there is something called dual enrollment. And this is very important for local parents, so not true for everybody. So let's say my son decides to go to USD, South Dakota here. I won't focus on APs at the time. I'll focus on dual enrollment because dual enrollment will go 3 credits to 3 credits, 4 credits to 4 credits, linear transfer. And APs he doesn't have to fight. But APs are meant for out of state lines, big schools and stuff like that. So people ask me the difficulty level of APs versus dual enrollment. Depends on who is teaching. But usually APs are a little bit more harder than dual. Because dual are usually taking gen ed courses like psych, soc, humanities. APs you tend to be Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc AB, chemistry, physics, AP bio, AP lit. These are hard courses. Okay? So you need to have this decision made very soon for your kids. If you have any questions, run it by me. Okay, I've been doing this for a long, long time. As a college president, I do deal with this. So we have local students taking Healan, for example. They take some classes at Healan as well as at my college.
Okay.
And we say, oh, sure, you get both grades, Healan grades and my college grades. So after they graduate, we send them the transcripts.
And what grade does that usually start? Junior
In Iowa, it's called ICANN. They start in 11th grade. I personally prefer 9th grade. Summer, one course. It's so easy. Psych course, summertime, 8 weeks, finished off, 3 credits. You bank and you bank and you bank. So I remember when I started New Horizon in 2008, we had a student who had 64 credit hours, associate degree. So he graduated the day he graduated from high school too.
Wow.
And I was one who was advising him, hey, do this, do this. Good kid, good kid. And he ended up going to Iowa State for industrial engineering, graduated from industrial engineering in Iowa State when he was only 20 years old because he had banked so many credit hours. And it's not hard. I'm not saying that everybody should go to 64, but I would say if you are not done with 18, 18 is what I call the average. But if you're 100% sure you want to leave mom and dad, go away, don't want to talk to them, and two flights away in the corner of California, yeah, then I would focus on APs. So it's as hard as it is to talk to kids about this. Pre-planning can save thousands of dollars in college tuition fees. And I'm not even kidding when I say this. And as a college president, I'm glad you don't do all these things. It's going to give me a good, nice revenue. As a founder and CEO of New Horizon, it hurts me. It really genuinely hurts me that what the hell these parents are doing. Why can't you take advantage of this? And many schools do dual enrollment for free. At our college right now, anybody can take any course for free. Literally $0. So why not take that advantage? Oh, we have a question here. Go ahead, please.
Hi Manoj, this is Geeta here. I just have a quick question on APs. So, what options do kids have if the schools are not providing them enough APs? For example, in our school, in my kids' school, kids can take only one AP during their sophomore year.
Oh my. Okay. This happens to us a lot. Then somebody from like Geeta is in California. My solution actually, we had a student from Ida Grove, Iowa, which is like 2 hours from here, okay? He's in the University of Michigan, he's a senior in mechanical engineering right now. They offer one AP in the entire school system, and that too in a senior year. So when I started mentoring with him, and he had a 25 ACT, and it's like, which school do you want to go? Well, I want to go to top engineering school, help me out. So we ended up teaching him AP Chem tutoring, AP Calc, AP Physics. And he got 5 in all of them. Didn't go to school for that. We just taught him all that material. And guess what? We contacted North High School in Sioux City and paid $95. Show up for the test, get a 5. And that's what I planned for my son. So I had a meeting with their school. He's in 8th grade right now. I had met with the school last week, school officials. I told them, this is the APs you guys offer. Great. This is what I want from him. And this is how I'm going to get to it. We have tutors for physics, tutors for chemistry, tutors for biology. Because if he's looking for engineering majors, having no calc basically is going to hurt him in college. So we're going to take care of all calc for him right away. So it's about planning and just getting an idea from your kids about what they intend to do. If they're a pre-med major, focus chem bio majors mainly. If they're looking for engineering, focus on calc and physics. So I'm a petroleum engineering major, so I can tell them that. And we do a lot of MCAT tutoring. We have a lot of MCAT students right now. So go ahead, please, Shelley.
If they took already chem and already bio, but just regular chem and bio, does it pay to have them take AP chem and bio?
They are not ready.
No.
It's not even close.
So have them take,
AP Chem, AP Bio.
even if they took chem and bio?
Yeah. Oh, they'll have no clue.
Okay.
It's like day and night difference. I was a first AP certified reader, chemistry reader at this area. So I was a chemistry professor so I was the first one around this area to actually have what's called an AP reader. No, not even close. And remember, AP is a curved grading. So what it means is approximately 125,000 students across United States take AP Chem. I do not know the latest data. This is when I was working on it. So maybe around 150,000 or 170,000. So they take all these students and break them into 5 groups, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you're not just getting it right, it's all about how others do as well. So it's curved grading. So you hope that others suck and your kids do well. That's the hope. I've been doing that for a while now. Do we have a question here, please? Yeah, I think you're on mute.
Hi, Manoj, I wanted to know, so you guys offer AP tutoring classes other than these, is it?
Oh yeah, quite a bit. Especially AP Calc, AP Chem, AP Bio, AP Physics. AP Physics has been, especially Kansas. We have a lot of students from Kansas, and they have a pretty bad reputation of AP Physics. So they start booking us in April and May itself for the next year.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
All right, thank you.
Manoj,
Yes.
how long is your AP class? or
Full
your
full year.
tutoring?
Full year.
Full year?
Yeah.
So if Yaya wants to take AP biology, say,
Mm-hmm.
so he should be in your class for AP for the whole year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On a one-on-one basis. This is all one-on-one basis. So
And then at the end of it, he takes the test?
in May, yeah.
In May?
Mm-hmm. So what we would expect for Yaya to be basically have done the regular biology at school so that we can start teaching the AP bio curriculum.
Oh, so he should take that first?
Oh yeah, without that
Yeah.
there's no chance. So it's gonna go one step higher. And please, I think I'm glad you guys are asking this question. I cannot stress the difference between a regular school curriculum courses versus a AP course. I teach AP Chem, by the way. And I can tell you, when they start with us, it's like a deer in the headlight situation. They're like, oh, we did all these things. Yeah, well, no, you didn't. You got a good grade doesn't mean you know the material. AP is intense. AP separates the men from the boys.
So they do the AP class or tutoring or whatever, they take the test, and that goes towards the college credit.
Okay, so let me give you a really good example.
map it out.
Yeah, let me tell you, let's say Ruby takes AP Chem. Okay, let's say she gets 5. So let me say she goes to Iowa State with that one. Oh, Iowa State, oh my God, she has a 5? I'm gonna place directly into organic chem instead of Gen Chem 1 and 2. So she just bypassed 2 courses in chemistry. She bypassed in organic, and you know how much is the fees for in organic chem in Iowa State? $3,000-4,000.
Oh, okay.
You just saved that one, and she now saved 1 year of chemistry.
Okay.
I take 10% commission. Let's say you go to Harvard. Harvard says, you know what? Everybody comes with a 5 here, but I'm going to put in Harvard honors chem, not a regular freshman chemistry. You go to Barrett's in Arizona State, they're going to directly put you in an honors chem at the time. But if you don't have APs, I can bet you're going to start with the regular levels in all of them. So AP gives you either the credit advantage or the placement advantage. I don't care about anything for my son. I want them to have a placement advantage. Because I'm not going to ask him to bypass Chem 1 and Chem 2. I will still make him take it, but he'll be so damn ready compared to everybody else. Especially AP Calc AB for engineering students and for pre-med students, AP Chem. Oh my God, I can't stress. And I teach MCAT still, MCAT chemistry, AP chemistry still today, and I can see the difference. One who has a strong AP background always has the advantage. Dual enrollment as a college president, this is what I want to talk about. But it's only for local kids. And if your kid has to, hey, Mom, I'm going to go to Augustana in Sioux Falls, I'm going to talk about all the dual enrollment courses they will accept. One kid we had, who is working with us right now, already has 16 done, 16th grade, and he wants to go to USD. So we have planned out 32 for him, 32 credit hours, all gen eds and USDS say, oh, we'll take it. So now how much you'll be left with? 128 minus 32 to get a bachelor's degree. And the money and the time and the headaches. So it's a real good plan. And they have very clear plans that mom and dad and the kid and we sat together and planned out. So we do, and I usually don't say this much, but we do a program called FACP. Some of the parents here have done that. It's called Family Academic Consultation Program. So what we do is, it's one-on-one basis. What we do is we help with all these things. I think Miyuki has done that with us as well. So a couple of sessions. So that kind of helps you guys, okay, where you are for your kid and where you want to go. So I'm going to set up a timeline and everything. So based on your individual kids' transcripts. And we do not, I don't look at the school grades, by the way. It's really it doesn't help me. I look at MAP scores, state testing scores, Smarter Balance, California testing scores, or whatever it is, and then we talk about the family outcome. So if you're interested, let me know. It's 1 to 1.5 hour session. I can, just text me and I'll send you more information. We already have August completely booked with this one, so we have a few spots in September. We have a question online. Go ahead, please.
Okay. My son, he already registered for honors chemistry. His school, they provide only honors courses. So if he wants to take an AP course this semester, is it still possible to enroll with you for the AP course?
Yeah, for the AP one-on-one, yes, and he'll be taking the whole year so that by next April he'll be done with us, and May he takes the test. Yeah,
Okay.
that option.
So it is not too late.
The school would have just started, right? I'm assuming.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we do not take any AP students after October, because then
Okay.
we are like November, December, of course, Christmas, January they're tired and are cold, and then it's not gonna work out. So we used to try our luck on one time. We did a January one, and we had 4 months of intense. That kid was amazing. I taught him actually AP Chem. He went to WashU for his applied math major, and but we don't find all kids are like that. So he worked. I taught him 4 hours a week and 10 hours of homework, and he did it. He got a 5. That's why I'm using that example. We have another question. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, for a senior, right, who had already taken honors chem in New Jersey, so who's going to take AP Bio in the senior year now? Do you think like AP Chem is advantageous at this time, or we could do without that as well?
Okay, maybe I'm not understanding. So the student is in senior, is in
Yeah.
honors bio right now or honors chem?
Honors Chem done,
Okay.
right, and who's going to get into AP Bio?
Okay. When did that student take the biology, the regular biology?
I think regular bio she completed last year, I guess.
Yeah. She,
When she was in sophomore.
no. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, junior.
Okay. So before I answer your question, I want to make a general comment. What we see a lot, and this is I would say is a sin almost. Okay. This is what happens. Typical high school kids profile. You take 9th grade bio, right? But when do they take AP bio? 11th or 12th grade. Do you really think they're going to remember all these things? No, they're not going to do it. So what happens when they go to AP bio? It's overwhelming, and they end up taking a test. They get a 1, 2, something like that. What I would suggest is if you take a freshman bio, take AP bio. And then take chemistry here as a double in 10th grade, then take AP Chem here. And then double in physics, and then take AP Physics here. So you want to have the continuity. And I teach chemistry. Trust me, it doesn't stay with people a lot longer than it's literally is volatile. It's just gonna go away. So I'm sitting with my school officials, administrators for my son actually. He's in 8th grade. So I'm planning out his full 4 years. Okay, and some schools don't offer these things. Like I'm working with a Kansas school, they don't allow any APs of science till 11th grade. So 9th and they can't take anything. Then that's not I don't like that, honestly speaking, but there's always a solution. So, and AP is a test, not a class. I just want to stress that. Yes, Shelley.
There's so many so when you might not know this is once you fall. And so Lincoln has,
Mm-hmm.
you have to take this many science courses. But if you take bio and AP bio, are those considered two different courses? Or are they both is she still gonna get enough credits?
So, one thing they will not negotiate with you is just state requirements. Okay, for example, South Dakota, I'm in South Dakota as well. They just have to finish Algebra 1, and just one biology course, something like that. So they have very low threshold of requirements of state. Then it's up to you. So I will wish, especially South Dakota has pretty low threshold for state requirements on STEM programs. I know for math it is, for science it is one biology course or one chemistry course or one physics course. That's all they need for state, which is ridiculous, honestly speaking. But who cares, right? They don't care. So, but for me, math I believe is geometry, algebra 1, and algebra 2. 3 years of math. They have to have 3 years of math.
So Manoj, sorry, coming back to that question that I asked, right? Very quickly. So if she's basically taking AP Bio this year, the senior year, right? And what basically, how about on the pre-med path, is still recommend taking AP Chem as well?
When did she take chemistry?
Junior.
The regular
Junior.
chem- Okay. Is she gonna just do individual tutoring for AP Chem, or does she have a period that is open where she can register for AP Chem class?
Oh no, she can't do it in school now because they do have a prerequisite. So she got into AP Bio.
Okay. And when did she take the regular bio then?
I think she did the honors bio. She's already done with the honors bio.
Okay, and when was it? 9th grade, 10th grade?
Junior, last year.
Okay, then
last year.
she's good. So she's at 11th grade honors bio, 12th grade AP bio, sequencing.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
good sequence. And she'll have the thrust going into AP bio. And getting a good 5 for a pre-med by AP bio will help you a lot. Because remember, when you apply for college, you have to tell them, you can decided, undecided majors, right? If you're decided, let's say I'm going for engineering, they'll focus on those engineering courses, that's math, physics, chemistry. They don't care with biology, for example. But if you're a pre-med pathway, and I just want to clarify to people that pre-med is not a major. Pre-med is a path. So you have to be a biology, a chemistry or a biochem majors to be in that pre-med pathway. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that one. And and they will look into those courses. One thing they'll be observing, especially if you're a pre-med major nowadays, is your ACT English score. They're for some reason they're finding out that they're not students with a low ACT English scores or SAT scores in English are not doing well in the MCAT portion of the there's no English per se, but psych, social, ethics. So there is some sort of correlation there as well. So keep an eye on that one. So we had a student who had a 34 in math, 36 in science, 18 in English. You know what I told them? Close your eyes and never think of pre-med. Just go to engineering. And he ended up going to Iowa State for chemical engineering. Graduated from chemical engineering from Iowa State, got a $80,000 offer in Houston. And I told him, whatever you do, don't write. And anytime I see him, I was like, these kids come call me and they're still in touch. And I was like, he's now the project manager. I said, make sure you have a good assistant who can write. And check with Grammarly. We have another question.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, now ChatGPT as well. Okay, so you guys good with this one? Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I know we want to move on.
No, I'm.
The AP. So how many hours a week is the one-to-one AP tutoring? I mean, am I making Yaya draw band and is he stopping soccer? Because if he's doing school and all the other stuff, how many hours do you expect for AP one-on-one?
So let's say Yaya finishes regular bio, let's say 9th grade, for example, and summer we would start the bio, AP bio. And that's where I would kill 6 chapters, for example. Go full go so that the fall spring load will be normal once a week, maybe twice. But when it comes to March, April of the following year, where the exam is nearby, then we're going to increase it 2-3 hours a week. So again, there are very few students who have had a real good plan and they've used the summer really well. Summer is where people just waste it. So for my son right now, he's going to be taking pre-calc and then calc. So the 10th grade, we have planned out already who's going to be tutor, who's going to teach, because he can't afford to not have a good calc AP score, period. Because if he doesn't, then he can go for engineering. And he has ruled out pre-med completely. So I'm, okay, fine, I don't care about it. But AP Bio, AP Chem is crucial for pre-med. Engineering will be chemistry, physics, and calc. It's just absolutely no choice. Of course, if you want to stay local, then things are different. Okay, just want to make sure the difference between staying local versus going different schools.
So would you advise if she's pre-med, AP Chem over physics? Like she doesn't need. Okay.
And I can tell you, Shelly, one more thing. Make sure she takes Gen Physics 1, Gen Physics 2 in the freshman college and get it done with, because there is a physics portion in MCAT. And people realize it later, and that's where the scores start to tank. And make sure she takes the algebraic physics 1, not the classical physics. Because classical physics needs calculus, and you don't need for MCAT. All right, thank you. The next one is some discipline matters. As much as we want to be respectful, we have a problem with students using cell phones. We had 2 students last semester. We really had a tough time. We don't have time to say turn off your phone and all those things. We are not kids, you know. It's ACT, American College Test. You know, we're gonna treat like, and I'm a college president. I don't have time for kiddish stuff. So could you please tell them, remind them, and also they need to be on time. We are gonna start, and we turn off our phones because otherwise it just keeps being. So I do understand things come up, and we keep track of Zoom links and if they're Zoom, but please 15 minutes before. That'll be really, really helpful. We always come here at 3:30 Central Time, have everything ready by 3:45. Kids need to settle down. They need to have snacks, water. It's gonna get tiring, so I wanna make sure they have that ready. And if there's any complaints about me, our tutors, about facilities, please call me ASAP. And we are here to improve all the time. Again, I've done this 15 years, you have seen it all. There's nothing that will surprise me, but my job is to make sure that student is attentive learning here. This is not a typical ACT course where something is thrown at them. It's like we teach them to the core material. Strategies, curriculum, all 4 sections, including ACT writing, which leads to my next topic about ACT writing. So, ACT writing is optional, but I request everybody to please tell your kids to take it. If you're taking it for the first time, do not register for ACT writing. It's additional 40 minutes. So don't do it on the first time. Second time onwards, please make sure they register, and they need to score at least 8 out of 12. This does not impact your composite scores. This is called CRI, College Readiness Index. So colleges feel like if you get an 8 and higher, you're ready to write at the college level with a B grade. So I strongly recommend, whether a school requires it or not, to have your kids take ACT writing. Second attempt onwards. First attempt, they will be already tired. We had the highest was 11 we had at New Horizon. It's not easy to get a 12. It's not easy. Even if you get a 9, you're doing really well. So, but 8 is a requirement. Some schools make it mandated. Some schools don't. Many schools don't mandate it, honestly speaking, especially after COVID. But I can tell you as a college president, you know what we are going to do is, you come here with no ACT writing score, especially if you're mass media, lit specials, we're going to take them a placement test to see where you are. And usually the students don't do well, and they go into a non-graduating credit hour course. So 8, oh, this kid can write. So. Sounds good about ACT writing? Next.
Hey, no, somebody got disconnected. She wants to know. Alicia or something?
Yeah, just do that. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I've been keeping an eye on that as well. So, if you have your calendars, December 2nd is a pretty important day, a week before the December 9th test. We do April and December always a comprehensive ACT review. The reason I'm telling you now, before the word gets out to everybody else, is this is for anybody, just not our students, okay? There is a fees for $75. It's first come, first serve basis. There will be a test practice from 12:30 to 4 p.m. December 2nd. And if you're a 10th, 11th, or a 12th grader, you don't want to miss this. We have had a lot of students tell us how much it has helped them. This 1 week before we get a test, we are already working on buying one. This is as realistic as the real tests are. So if you're interested, sign up. You can Venmo fees or text me. I can get you, but I just need the name and the fees, and we enroll it. We don't need anything else. And sometime in November, a test will be emailed to the parent, not to the student, so that we don't want them to see it. And the student will get the test that morning, just before it starts. Last time, 2016, we had 85 students, and we have only capacity of 40 students here. Only 40 spots are available. So we just made a big mistake, and we just was a cluster that day. So last year we had 43. Somehow we managed it. So we do in April and December. December gets filled out the fastest. We go public on this one in the second week of September. We announce to the entire public. All schools will know, and all students across the U.S. will be able to enroll in this. But we can only take 40 students. So it's a first come, first served basis. So I just want to have our own students get the chance first.
Hey Manoj, do you have this online?
Oh yes, it's for all students, face to face online. Yes.
Okay, and but this option is not available for the October one, right?
No, this is not for the October one. This is only for December and the April. The only reason is it's very hard to get the test. So,
Got it.
So that's why we have kind of limited to only, and this takes a humongous effort from us to be ready with this. So we have 4 instructors preparing for this one. We start the month in September itself, the preparation. So if you're interested, if you're taking the December test, I really encourage for you guys to do this one.
Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
How soon should we, inform you regarding this preview test?
I would do it this week, honestly speaking.
Okay.
Last time we had 18 registrations on that Sunday we did this. We had 18 registrations, so we were left with 22 spots. By end of second week of September, it was full. So I wouldn't miss this. I would not miss the homework. I would not miss this. That's how important these are. So, and the only reason is this is open to everybody else. So these kids sign up quick. 10. Recordings. So we record all lectures. Everything is recorded. We share it. I request only one thing, that this cannot be forwarded to any students. So we had one situation 2 years back. Not a big deal, but it does create problems for us. So usually it takes me 3 to 4 hours to download, send it, and even if your son has attended or daughter has attended the class, sometimes there will be tough lectures, like for example, next Sunday, advanced class will have a really tough trick lecture from me. And I don't mind them rewatching this. So, okay? And then this parent meeting, I would really like them to see it with you guys. So when I post this one, right? Hey, why can't we sit and listen to what Manoj talked to us? So that they are actually aware of the intensity and the requirements for all these things, especially this one. My son has been taking classes. The one thing I ask him is homework, because it is so much has helped him. He own tells me that this makes me learn more. So recordings will be shared, but cannot be forwarded to anybody. So that's a request.
Do you share them through the WhatsApp?
Everything is WhatsApp.
Everything?
Everything.
Okay.
So please ask questions through WhatsApp until it's a personal question. Then text me. But because and also we do polling, not to bother you guys, but it just gives us a little sentiment to what's going on. So if you guys can, I'll be polling today. Hey, how did the parents' meeting go? Just to get an idea. But share comments so that we can keep improving. And I don't want to hear about any mistakes we did at the end of the semester. I would like to know right away we can fix it. And we have learned a lot. Some parents have really helped us grow this institution. Any questions so far on any of these? ACT review recordings. Okay. The next one is college admissions. If your son or daughter is a senior right now, raise your hands. One. And if you're online, do a thumbs up, please. So we have 2 or 3. So what I would suggest, we have a few actually. So I would suggest is start looking into applying for colleges. So it's law of declining returns. So so this is the amount of scholarship they will have. So one who comes will take a chunk away. So more you wait, you'll have less pot to fight with. Excuse me. All our students right now, actually I've started applying. The one we do college consultation. So if you are a parent where your kids are looking into top schools, highly ranked schools and stuff like that, please contact me. We do a 1-year college admission consultation. We only take 4 spots. We have all full 4 right now. I do it basically. It includes the whole shebang, the admissions, the essay reviews, the scholarship reviews and everything. So we actually recommend starting from 9th grade, actually, so that I can tell what they have to do. When they come in 11th or 12th grade, what will happen is we have less time to work with them. So, but the essay part, the essay portion is of significant importance. Can I know which school your son or daughter is interested in?
New Mexico, University of New Mexico, and then she's also looking local, South Dakota State and
Okay.
medical.
Oh, medical? Definitely prefer USD. There is a Med Scholar program. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's a guaranteed admission to med school. So, okay. You have to have a 3.5 GPA every semester, and one of my students right now is doing a pre-med scholar program at USD right now. She's in now 3rd year. So one of our employees too. Boy, and you don't have to take MCAT. So I don't know about University of New Mexico why she would pick that one, but
Far away from her mom and dad.
okay, yeah. That's close to Mexico border, yeah. So, yeah. USD, howdy. She's not holding back, don't she? Is she? But yeah, if you're a senior, now if you're a junior, parents, raise your hands, please. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the thumbs up if you're online. For junior parents, 1, few. Okay, few. So juniors as well, we start the college consultation process in October. So if you're interested to work with me, this is only one-time deal. Family academic, we have mom, dad, and this one is the whole shebang. It's just a 1 year. So we have a parent. I think she's here. I think so. Their son is working with us. Started in 9th grade. So every month or so, I meet with them, just half an hour. Just hey, do this, because there's so many aspects to going and getting into big school. It's not just the ACT scores. That's not the GPA. There is so many nuances to getting into the top schools. So we start early. So yes.
So that's different from FACP?
Yeah, this is just a transcript evaluations, timelining scores for that semester or something like that. Okay. So this one is basically the whole shebang. You start from 9th grade all the way to 12th grade. So we used to do in 11th and 12th, but like for example, I will tell a kid who worked with us, they started in 11th grade October, and then they already had made plans for their summer vacation. Guess what? When we started working with them, his volunteering was only 13 hours, and you need a minimum of 75 hours to even consider into top schools. Guess what happened? They had to finagle their vacation plans a little bit. I started working on weekend plans for volunteering, everything. So we ended up getting 86 by the time we applied. Was I happy with the 86? No, I was not happy with that 86. It was like a finagled 86. Because there is no mission built into the volunteering. It was just a manual labor getting to that 86. Volunteering has to be mission based. You gotta have a reason why you're doing what you're doing, because these schools are very competitive. They look into those things. So what we do is basically this kid. I'm working with one of the parents here. Exactly told. Okay, 10th grade summer, do this. 11th grade summer, let's do this. When should we do the college visits? When should we do exams and APs? How many APs? So, for example, if you want to go to Harvard, for example, how many APs are average? So let's kind of plan it out for APs. So, if you're local, you don't need this. But if she's going to USC, for example, ask her to write a good essay. She may get a little bit more scholarship. This one, it doesn't matter where you go. This is powerful. Essays are very powerful. I wouldn't miss this one. We spend the most time in essay evaluation. On an average Common App essay, it takes us 3 months to go back and forth. We are right now with our student, we are on 9th draft. The kids love it. Absolutely hate that because like, what did you guys make us do this? Well, we want to be perfect. This kid is going to top schools. He's applying to Brown. He's a pre-med. We gotta be perfect. You gotta be perfect. So yeah, every word matters at the time. It's 650 words, by the way, for the Common App essay. College admissions. Now I'm gonna open up to anybody having any questions. This is the majority of the things we wanted to cover with you guys. Now, anything you guys might want to ask. Yes, sure.
So, like my daughter started asking all the questions here, but
No, you're actually helping everybody else. So.
Okay. Well, good. I'm just here to help. So I mean, she does really well. She's like in the top 10% of her class, but her test teaching is horrible. Like she'll go into a test, she'll have like 96% in the class, and she'll be like, "Yeah, I think I did great on that," and she got like a 71 or something. I mean, so she still gets an A in the class, but her testing anxiety takes her down. So does this kind of cover some of that or help with some of that?
Quite a bit actually, and I'm not saying about your daughter specifically, but in general observation, what we have seen, the reasons some students
Yes, I
get,
did.
some students are.
I didn't hear the question, so.
Oh, sorry. The question was, does this prep class cover students who have test anxiety? They do well in school but don't do well in tests. And the answer, one of the things what we have observed is the lack of knowledge of the material, holding it for a longer time. You know what they do in school, right? Friday they teach ABC. Monday they'll say, "Oh, you'll be asked on ABC," and they'll spit ABC and they get 100%. ACT starts from 7th grade math. So the retention of the material over long periods of time. So when kids know the material, the test anxiety starts to shift. That's why we have a regular and advanced, and why I tell people to start with the regular is get your basics done. So it doesn't matter whether in 10th grade, 11th grade, you don't forget it. Yes, we had students who had diagnosed with test anxiety. Okay, you can tell them. I have done this for a long time. I worked with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for 3 years. And I can tell you, I studied 3 years on all these things to students who are having test anxiety. Yes, they are diagnosed, they are on some medication. Yes, I do have that one. So, I have an answer for that one. So, if you feel your kid has some sort of medical situation, okay, if you are allowed, you can apply to ACT and get extended timing, and you get 50% more time. Okay, it's not easy. They will not approve that easily, but if it's a genuine reason, like I'm working with a kid right now, he has more time. He's been given more time. So, and I think, honestly speaking, I do online. He's from Kansas, and I can tell he needs more time. So, but we'll work on. But what we ask them is, why does it happen? Okay, and they will usually it comes out to, I don't remember this material. I keep forgetting, and that creates the tension for us. The stress level starts to increase, and then it starts to trickle down to other things. So we had a student who played for us, one of the top state players for football, and he was sitting in the class doing math, and he was getting all this anxious. I said, when you throw the football, you're a quarterback, right? Do you think twice? Are you anxious? No, you're not. Why? You put in the effort every single day. Have you done math like that for the last 4 years? No, you've not done. You've done math bare minimum. That hit him hard. You put in the effort, things will change. And we did it. We didn't make him take the test for 1 year. He started in 10th grade. The first time he took it was in 12th grade, September. Because I wanted to give him the confidence that he knows the material. Reinforcement. And they did one-on-one quite a bit with us. And you know what he started with? First score, 29. And you know what they wanted with me? 24. I told them I'd still take 10% commission.
To kind of piggyback off of what she said, and what you're kind of saying is, if your child has a 504 plan for more time,
Yeah.
is there a way to apply with ACT, or do you do that with?
School counselor will help a lot.
Okay.
The IEPs go through school counselors, and so is the 504s. So, but the ACT has a full form, you have to download it. I would work with the counselor.
Okay.
Do not do it on your own. It's a pretty complex process, especially during COVID and post-COVID, they changed quite a bit.
Okay.
And you want to do it 4 months in advance.
4 months?
In advance. So if you're taking it December, you want to start now.
Yeah.
Or yesterday.
Submit it 4 months in advance or just start out?
Start, but I would submit it ASAP because it takes them 2.5 months to approve it. They'll call you, they'll look into all the medical records and stuff like that. 50-50 chance, 50% of the students get rejected right now. 50%. I have a couple of questions. Go ahead, please.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Sure, please.
Okay. What is the role of an extracurricular activities like music, other things, plays in the college admission, and the clubs like HOSA and like something related to the thing they want to pursue their career? How does that play in the college admission process and then the application process?
Great question, so I can answer this. Don't worry about how many they do. Worry about how well they do. So the biggest problem I see with parents, including me, okay, I want you to do this, A, B, C, D. They don't care. They want you to be good in one thing or maybe two things, but really good. So if you're doing extracurricular, let's say your daughter is, for example, a great piano player, okay? Let her go all the way to state. Let her really invest her energy into that one. Instead of making her do piano, quiz ball, debate, and all those things, and dilute her time. So what I'm going to be doing with my son is I'm going to pick 2 sports and 1 school activity, and we're going to really focus on that one. Again, I'm going to repeat, it's not how many, it's how well. Our first student who went to Princeton from the New Horizon, so in Sioux City, she went to state violin. She made the top 3 in the state of Iowa. 34 ACT. We packaged her application really well. Essay was damn good, and she got into Princeton. She just graduated. So, great question on extracurricular activities. Please do not dilute your kids by throwing them in so many other things. Yeah, it may sound cool. Oh my God, my kid is doing this. Yeah, what are you going to get out of it?
So, Manoj, does only high school stuff counts, or like stuff done in middle school also counts for?
Continuation really helps. Okay. Because when in the essay you can say, hey, I've been doing this in 7th grade too, but what counts is only the high school.
Okay.
But they would love to see that continuity, and we write that essay really smartly at the time. So we had a kid who has been doing plastic collection from 5th grade. She ended up going to University of Michigan in College of Arts. Page, her name, Lauren Page. So she just was big in saving plastic, recycling. So she went to school administration, started working with school administration. Hey, I'm going to collect plastic after school is done. So every day she collected half an hour plastic. It turned out to a big blown project at that school, and now they have plastic recycling because of her. And we wrote that. So when we do the college admission, I just love to hear kids' stories, what they are and what they are not. And then we start milking that in the essay. Oh, essay writing is just so complex. It's so complex. So, but yeah, if you're doing something in middle school, awesome. Just you have to shift it to, you have to pivot to high school and how you write it.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, Manoj, quick question on the AP exam. Like, can you just take it only once, or how does that work if you are not satisfied with like a 4 or a 5? I mean, if you don't get a 5 or whatever, right? And is there an option to take it again?
I'm chuckling here because taking AP twice is doing the root canal twice in the same day. It's a nightmare for kids. I've had only one student so far did AP Calc twice, and he did go up at one point, but boy, it was not easy. So if you're doing AP Bio, give it everything and be done with it. Doing AP Bio for a second time is not going to be easy. But that's actually nobody has asked me that question. Funniest thing is, multiple APs and multiple SATs are rare. SAT people take average 2 times. That's high enough because some schools like MIT expect you to submit all SAT scores. Yeah, so that's why that's the problem. So MIT is a kind of really is a pain in the anyway. So and they have they have their own application. They don't even go through Common App, which is a centralized hub for 1,000 schools. MIT still has its own, and it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We got shortlisted once. She's now working for Boeing, and she was the only one who has come close to getting into MIT. But yeah, they just want to show off. So yes, next question, please.
Yeah, coming back to this extracurricular. So for example, my daughter was representing her in her middle school. She was representing badminton, but here in her high school, they don't have it. In her school, but still she goes to classes and she's in advance. And not everybody gets into the school team, or how does it still hold good? Like during college application, do they still consider?
In Common App, there is a 10 spots available for activities, and you can mention that. But activity, preferably through a school, has more weightage.
Yeah.
But the volunteering should be out of school activity. So yeah, you can definitely pivot that way to that. She did this and then into high school. Does it have to be high school oriented for Common App activities? Yeah.
No. Right now, she was representing her school in the during her middle school.
I see.
But high school, they don't have it here. But she is going to a extra outside, and then there if she gets into some tournaments, is that counted?
Yeah, definitely. You just have to word it smartly, but you're allowed to do that. We have actually a lot of girls volleyball students up there. We just had one just got into Princeton, second Princeton student. He's just moved into dorm yesterday from Kansas, and she plays volleyball for them. And they did the college admission with us, starting with 9th grade. And by 10th grade, we did our ACT, and we planned out everything. So, but she did a lot more outside than school did. So we had to, when we wrote her essays and activities, we were very intentional of what she did. We didn't hold back. And we also indirectly told them that school did not give what she wanted. So.
Hey, Manoj, one question.
Please.
So, what are different volunteering that NHS accepts?
NHS, National Honor Society, is an honor. It's not considered as volunteering. And the volunteering should be out of school activity, not what you have gone through the NHS. So the 75 hours I mentioned are out of school, non-school related volunteering hours, food bank and all those things. But if you're doing through the part of NHS, which is mandated, then it's not going to be counted. Next question, please. Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one. When you're talking about NHS, the NHS comes only for the students only in the junior year, like in the in the spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you started writing essay and apply for that, so how do you update the things? Like how do you accommodate all those things? Some of the activities, some kids can make it into all state in the spring of like their junior year, right? So how do you define the timeline and stuff?
You will not be submitting to any colleges till August 1st of your senior year. So you'll have some time to finagle with that one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. unless it's a rolling admission to a state school, which you can apply anytime. But August 1st is the first day you can officially submit.
Okay.
Hey, Manoj, I have a quick question.
Yes, please.
Or two, I guess. So for 10th graders, you had mentioned taking ACT in December. When and how do we register for the December ACT? Is that through the school or just on our own?
If you want to write down this, it's called actstudent.org is the website. I repeat, actstudent.org is the website.
Okay.
They don't do through schools. You have to register on your own.
Okay, and I guess the second part of the question is, your point number 9 about the ACT review on December 2nd. In our previous conversations, you mentioned that you would know whether the student is ready for taking the ACT in October or so as you go through the class and cover the material. So would it be advisable to wait till October till you know better, or should they still plan to take the review?
I would say register right now, because if the class is full, then not much can be done. I would register, and if I feel that the student is not ready, I'll let you guys know, and we'll plan for them. So don't worry about that one. But we had only one time that has happened where a student had already registered, and I said no, she's not ready for it. So we just refunded the money, and yeah. So it's very important for that to happen.
How do you tell if they're not ready for it?
And is that only offered in December?
Yes, only December and April. Yes.
Oh, so there is something in April too. If you feel to push it out, we can.
Yeah.
Like you said, just refund it in December or reuse it in spring one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's our secret sauce, I would say. No, I that's the experience, I would say. Yeah. We had an 8th grader last year wanted to take us. I said, Mom was like, no, he's not. I said, please allow him to take it. They're like, Manoj, are you nuts? I said, we'll see what happens. I said, I'm gonna pay his fees if he doesn't get what I'm predicting. But I told them if he gets what is, that I like a bottle of nice scotch. So you want to take that gamble? So they did take a gamble, and I had a nice one. He ended up getting a 28, and I'd made a bet of 27. So again, kids. Actually, if you're face to face, like when kids come here, I can read them. Like I can read them. You will not. Like I can tell you right now. Okay. Even yesterday in the PSAT class, I was like, okay, I know this class is gonna have this high score already. I can make the prediction. The body language really helps. So
Manoj, look,
Sorry, I can't hear you, guys. Mother. Hello.
You mentioned last time that you like when parents are confused.
Could you please repeat? We lost you.
No, the question is by what time she's in junior. So by what month or something she has to decide on the major.
Did you guys?
Decide on a major.
Oh, major?
Decide on a major.
Oh, you mean college major?
Yeah, by when does she have to decide? Because we know kind of which where she's this thing, but then do they have time? Suppose they take pre-med, and then does she have time to decide whether to continue medicine or just do bio?
Oh well, this is like what's called the $1 million question, right? One thing I can tell you is don't go undecided. Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you're going for engineering, having the engineering, because in the drop-down menu you have to do College of Engineering, right? You don't have to be that specific as chemical engineering or aeronautical. For pre-med, you got to start showing some inclination by end of 10th grade. Start showing, oh my God, I think I want to be more towards pre-med, maybe pre-pharmacy, allied health courses type. If you have no clue in 11th grade, I can guarantee you'll have no clue in 12th grade. Nothing happens between that phase. Then you will end up applying for undecided major or going for College of Liberal Arts. So having constant conversations, they may be pissed with you guys. The kids will be pissed with you guys. Anyway, they are usually out with parents. So just add one more thing but One of the things I see, one of the things I've seen in 15 years, and if I can tell this to a parent, me being parent to a parent, is that parents somehow delay this conversation. They don't want they don't want to know the truth. They just somehow kind of bypass, slide through it, and we'll do it Christmas time. Then Christmas happens, then time within a blink of an eye. I've been having this conversation with my son in 7th grade. Okay, you know what? You may have no clue. I understand, but what do you like to do? Or most important, for sure, what you don't want to do. And he said, no blood, Dad. I said, you're out of pre-med, pre-dental, pre-pharmacy. Okay, you're good. Pre-pharmacy, I can think. I said, trust me, there's enough blood in pre-pharmacy too. So, but I'm deliberately, intentionally having that conversation. And initially they will hate it. If I draw a graph, I love graphs, by the way. Initially they will hate you, and then they're like, oh, it's helping me, and it's started going up, and then they start volunteering information which you need to hear. So I really want you to understand the concept of having that constant discussion about your kids, and do not say no to them, and they will change. Do you know in the United States, 47% of the undergraduate students change their major in the first year? 47%. You know, the concern for me is, as a college president, I love it.
Yeah, it told me last.
Because they will have to take other courses in the freshman year, which is good. Give me more money, show me the money, right? But as a founder and CEO of New Horizon, I hate it. I just absolutely hate it. And I will tell you, there's a guy 2 blocks from here, been with us since 2013. He graduated. He works in Dunes right now. He went to UNL, University of Nebraska-Lincoln, for a pre-med major. Took Gen Chem 1, Gen Chem 2. Good kid, 29 ACT. Still remember that. But organic came and he started slacking. And it was complete shellacking afterwards. He got a D- in organic. And of course, D-, you're out of med school. Anyway, B-, you're almost gone. Okay. So, organic. And then he's like, oh, okay, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to go back to business. He ended up taking Introduction to Business 101, which is a freshman level fall course, in his junior year. UNL would be awesomely happy, because you know what? He's going to help me generate more revenue.
Can you retake organic chem?
Yeah, he didn't. He had it.
No.
D-, you're out. D- you can.
Even if you retake it.
Yeah, you can get to C+ max. There is so much gap there. It just can't. We had only one student who went from a C- to a B once in organic, for example. I teach organic. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So they asked me, what do you think? I said, let's move on. Time to change the direction. And he went from College of Sciences to College of Business College at UNL. Yes.
Manoj, when you say pre-med, not all undergrad schools have a pre-med track.
Yes.
Only some schools do, right?
Yes.
So when you're saying pre-med, you're saying if the undergraduate school doesn't have a pre-med track, then take organic chemistry or biology, whatever, on your own to prepare for med school.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you want to, I want to go to a pre-med, like med school, for example, I would not find any schools, I would not send him to Iowa State. They have chemistry courses, biology courses, but they are not pre-med tracks. I would go to University of Iowa at the time. So do not send him to a school where the pre-med track is not even there, because then he'll have to take individual courses like menu items, and then he'll have to join them together. Creighton, for example, has a beautiful pre-med track. Brown has a double major neuroscience pre-med track as well. You take a neuroscience, bachelor's in neuroscience, and it tracks directly into med school. So I would not send him to some school like Iowa State, for example.
Your story about him bombing organic and then deciding to be a business major tells me that maybe he shouldn't be making up his mind about what he wants to do when he grows up so young, that maybe we need a little freedom about. I decided what I wanted to do when I grew up when I was in 8th grade, and maybe it wasn't the best choice for me. I don't know that our 18-year-olds are ready to make that decision.
And I hear this all the time, and I do understand, Lisa, and honestly speaking, but the point is, if you have no inkling of what direction you want to go, what you're going to take in freshman level courses will be all gen ed courses, which may or may not help you in your program eventually. For right now, the only colleges that do not allow you to declare major is all Ivy League schools. What, 5, 6 years back, Ivy League schools made a huge change to their admissions that all are undecided. You only have to go as a major in the end of their spring sophomore year. So they have structured it way, but would I like it? No, I would not. I would at least I would have to have some interest. Like for example, pre-med engineering or law, for example, social science, some indication of where they want to go. So if they're like my son said, no, no, I know you're an attorney, so they said no law, for example. He has shown interest in financial engineering and data analytics. Okay, good, kind of engineering type of thing. But I also know he's kind of starting to rule out things. What's going to happen again? We don't know next year. He may say, Dad, I want to go be a pre-med. I like these doctors driving Ferraris. Okay, so he may change that too. But having that conversation is helping me. I think that having that conversation is helping me. And it's relieving him of some of the unknowns. And I know people do career counseling and all those things. They're all BS. Just talk to me. If you run some, text me, and I'll be able to help you guys. As a college president, I do this every single day at the college. Every single day. I go and talk to students. Hey, tell me what do you want to do? And then we start kind of placing them a little bit. And if they change major, ask them, how do you know you'll be successful in the next one? Because it can be just crapshoot and you start paying. And another thing I want you to know this is, if you change your major from a, let's say, biology major to a business major, the scholarship you had for biology major is not going to be applied for business major. So he lost that full scholarship. So it's what's called a college scholarships. So there is the institutional scholarship, there is the college scholarships. So you lose it right away. And so he had to start paying the full amount. And that, they didn't know that. That came as a surprise to them. Luckily they had the money, they did it and all those things, but they were not ready for it. So that's why when you start changing, you want to have a clarity of why and how and stuff like that. And you have to support your kids. You have to. Not everybody's going to be ideal. They're going to make mistakes. We all did some sort of mistakes as well. But sit with them and talk to them now. Start giving them confidence they need. But deciding undecided majors, you're always in the bottom of the application pile.
Yeah, Manoj?
One question. Oh, sorry. Can I go ahead?
Oh, please, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm actually taking everyone back to the second thing, the homework sheet. How is that expected to be submitted? Is that some sort of like a Google sheet or something, or how is that going to be?
It's on the WhatsApp group already. They have to self-report, and we'll send a poll. Okay. Hey, did you do your homework? I can guarantee everybody will say yes, but the question is, as a parent, have you done, just randomly check. But homework is important. I just can't stress this. If there's one thing I can tell you, homework and the ACT review. Don't leave this meeting without that one. So, yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So, when they do the homework, if they have problems with the questions, that's what they bring it up with the tutor.
Yes, two ways to do it. Either they can bring it up in the class, or text us, and we'll find a tutor to answer to them.
And if they're too embarrassed or too shy, can I text you? Because I don't know who the tutor is. Right?
Yes, yeah. Everybody will text me directly.
And you won't tell him that I texted.
I won't tell Yaya. So, Yaya and my son are good friends. So, yeah, trust me, I won't tell him. He won't come to my house after that.
No, please. Too embarrassed if I say anything.
Trust me. I trust me. It's true.
Ask any questions.
Yeah, and I don't know why they don't promote this in school, but we are seeing that in college too. This pin drop silence, like we know they're not understanding, and it just amazes me. It amazes me. So last semester though, the advanced group, it was fantastic. It was beautiful questions, not just gibberish questions, I would say. It's like real good questions, good conversation. We elevated ourselves to the next level. Even the PSAT yesterday was pretty damn good. I really love, and I in my class, they usually open up. With other instructors, they may be a little bit shy, and but we have the worst was summer 2020. OMG. Oh wow, it was horrible. We had No luck. In the entire class, entire 15 weeks, we had one question. And that's why their average turned out to be the lowest. It speaks for itself at the time.
So Manoj, quick question. Going back to the, helping them figure out their major, what role, in addition to having the conversations with them, what role do you think the AP courses take in helping them figuring out the majors?
AP is an afterthought. So if you're going to be in engineering, then start doing AP Calc and AP Physics. AP does not help you in any way. I've never seen a situation where they take AP and then they said, oh my God, I won't do this. So it's usually an afterthought. So do not enroll in an AP Bio or AP Chem if you're going to be like a lit major or something like that. So, but AP is usually an afterthought.
Is it mainly just having the conversation with them or what they like?
That's what I do. There is no golden rule here. You just have to have a lot of conversations. What I'm going to do now, I'm planning out for my son is internships, unpaid internships. I'm putting him, for example, he wants to be an engineer, right? Well, I'm going to take him to tires, and ask him to start working in a garage and see if he likes doing it. Not that he's going to be doing that type of job. He'll be designing. But if, as an engineer, if your hands are not dirty, you'll never be a good engineer. Same with a doctor, right? If you can't see the blood, you should not be in the doctor's, lounge or anywhere near a hospital. So have you done that? And and I've seen people take it very lightly. They're very naive to this. I'm not. I take these things very seriously. If he wants to be a CAD designer, he wants to design a plane. That's what he always says. That, well, okay, let's find a CAD designer, and you'll have to learn this design. If you don't like it, you already know that you're not going to be successful. You may be good at it, but you have no passion to follow it. So that's what I would say.
Those were maybe some of the things you were referring to earlier as volunteer activities.
Yes. And I'm very, very particular about how you end up selecting volunteering. So it's not just to fill some space. I'm very particular. It has to be mission-based. Some of our best students I can tell you, they were so clear in their plans why they did what they did. Oh, it was just amazing. I've learned a lot from them, actually, because they had the passion they wanted to do. So one student collected diaper, for example, because she never had a diaper because her mom couldn't afford one. So her thing was to collect enough diapers so that every kid had a diaper in Sioux City. So she raised money to buy and started doing the lemonade stands. What was the thing? Buy a lemonade, drop a box of diapers. Don't you think that's pretty awesome for the kid of that age to have that maturity? Not everybody is like that, where it's a 1% rule. But boy, she will be successful. All right. Any final thoughts, comments? Well, yeah, go ahead.
Manoj, can I ask a question back to AP classes? Sorry. The only reason I'm asking is we have a couple. So my daughter did accelerated chem as a freshman. She was tracked to do AP chem as a sophomore. And then they got a rookie AP teacher in at her new school. And she recognized it within the first two labs that the teacher was not going to work. So she went into AP bio, never ever took regular bio, got a 4, did fine. AP physics. Well, now she hasn't had chemistry since her freshman year. And she's already tracked to take AP Calc, and she might double up with AP Stats. And I don't know about throwing AP Chem in there. Math is kind of her thing. But I'm really concerned about her not having chemistry since accelerated chem as a freshman.
Heather, can we talk about this specific situation sometime this week?
Yeah, because I don't know what to do, and the teacher isn't getting great results, and I don't also want to stress her out. Because I don't want her,
This is exactly when we do the FSCP. Because right now I'm hearing the mom's perspective, I want the kid's perspective as well. So it's, again, I would love for you guys to, I know I saw a couple of messages already that people are signing up for FSCP from here, this group here already. So please make sure to sign up for this session. That's an ideal case where an FSCP will help, because you have to look into what's really is going on. And yes, you don't want to add too much that the kid gets overwhelmed and it actually hurts. We don't want that. We want our kids to be happy. converts to good learning, and that's the focus. So Heather, if you're interested, please let me know. I can see if I can open a quick schedule sometime in August. I know it's full, but this is too important for us not to have this discussion.
Okay.
If you can,
Thank
please
you.
text me.
I will. Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else? Any other questions? So I'd really, first of all, I want to say, after a long time, we had this type of questions and discussion. It's been a little boring lately. Like, people don't ask questions, parents, especially parents. But this has been really, really not. I'm happy to answer all these questions. Your kids are our students. It's my job to train them to their best ability. So you can always count on me. 24/7, people do. Some of our students who graduated, now they have kids, some of the PhDs, they still contact me. So that shows the trust they have in us, because I didn't start this company I was so pissed at WIT when I was teaching chemistry one day. I came home, I was telling my wife, I'm done teaching. I'm going to go back to engineering, do my PhD, because I can't take it anymore. She's like, well, okay. The next day I was like, you know what, how about I start a tutoring company to help these kids? That's how it happened. It was an ad for $80 in Sioux City Journal. I found that ad after 15 years, we found it. And long story short, we ended up getting 6,000 students now. And we have a PhD, we have a thesis on our company, a 2014 article on ACT prep. It's the most researched ACT prep PhD thesis in the US right now. It's 84 pages. He was a graduate from USD who wrote about our company, why our students do well. He compared with Kaplan Princeton. The difference is, in Kaplan Princeton, the CEO doesn't teach it. I still teach. And sometimes I wonder, I'm a college president, why am I doing this? But every single time I was like, you know what, if I can make a difference to one kid somewhere, that kid is what I'm looking for. And that's why every time I need to take a vacation, Sunday evenings walk and all those things. But it's hard to miss out these kids who have talent but not been channelized properly. So, but you guys need to talk to me, text me, call me. I'm here to help. I wish your kids and your family the beautiful fall, except the next 4 days. It's going to be brutal, but I'm here for you guys. Okay, take care of yourself. Have a good day. Bye bye. Thanks, guys. Online.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.